When was the last time that you and I had conversations regarding Georgia, regarding the type of athletes that they have, and knowing that they're still a playoff contender? Knowing that at the end of the day, this is a team that is still going to be atop the SEC. That despite the advancements in NIL, the fact that people are saying, oh, that Georgia's fallen off. No, they're not. Who has ever said that Georgia's fallen off? They've won the SEC the last 2 years. You're telling me that this is a team that's about to fall off? You're sadly mistaken. Gunnar Stockton returns for his second full year as a starter, and to me, he's a top 3 quarterback in the SEC. Last year going into the season, I had questions regarding what Gunnar Stockton could do. Those thoughts were quickly put to rest after that Tennessee game. And from then on out, I always considered Gunnar Stockton to be a top 5 SEC quarterback. From there on. And I was right. Gunnar Stockton is a phenomenal quarterback. I think he fits well with what Mike Bobo wants to run. As much crap as I give Mike Bobo at times. But again, this is a very, very, very good roster. I think that what you got from the portal, you get guys like Isaiah Canyon, who can be a deep ball threat receiver, averaged almost 15 yards a catch at Georgia Tech. And on 33 catches, had 4 scores. He's a Georgia product. I think that's amazing that you're able to flip a guy from your rival all the way to Georgia. You bring in Dante Dowdell, who was a phenomenal running back, very physical running back this past year with Kentucky, averaged over 5 yards a catch, and a guy that I would expect to stretch the field on a lot of different games. I think he's going to be one of the more underrated and underappreciated running backs this upcoming season. And I think that, just what he brings to the table as a running back, he just brings so much depth and he brings so much experience at that position. And as he finishes his last year of eligibility. And then another guy that I thought really complimented on the opposite side of the football to pair alongside with who could be arguably, in my opinion, I think could be a favorite for a Jim Thorpe Award in Ellis Robinson, a guy that I really thought had a solid season this past year in 2026. 4 interceptions this past year, carrying the torch of great Georgia safeties that have come in years past. Guys like Malachi Starks is a great example of such. But you bring in Khalil Barnes, who just 2 years ago, phenomenal football player, was all over the field. 2025 was a freshman All-American in 2023, and a guy that I think is going to continue to establish himself as one of the premier safeties in college football, and a very, very physical safety as well. So I would expect for his name to be called within the first couple of picks of the NFL draft this upcoming season, maybe being a top 50 pick when it is all said and done. Georgia's still going to be Georgia. I think this defensive line is still going to be very good. I think that despite all that they have lost and all the crap that Glenn Schumann has gotten, I think this is a massive year for him. I think that they're rebounding significantly. I think Georgia's still within the title hunt once again. Obviously, this is a deeper SEC than it was at the beginning of the decade. And it's much more wide open than we remember. This is a massive year for Kirby Smart and company because, look, you win a championship, you win a national title this year, you shut everybody up about Georgia's falling off. Georgia's doing this. Georgia's doing that. And no, they're not. Georgia never fell off with Kirby Smart. The only reason why you say that they're falling off is because they haven't won in an expanded playoff. most of which has been their own undoing. Gunnar Stockton struggled with turnovers this past year. Defensively, you struggled in shutting down a mobile quarterback. Can you finally do that this year? That is going to be the big question. I think Georgia still has a very, very good roster. I think they've loaded at wide receiver. They didn't they were significantly better in the drops this past year than they were in 2024, but it still was an issue. You've got to be more and more and more deep in the wide receiver room. Bottom line. So let's see what happens with Georgia. Early test early against Oklahoma at home. Vanderbilt, you get it home. You go to Bryant-Denny. At Ole Miss, at South Carolina. Those are going to be interesting games. That November 7th game is going to be what is on everybody's calendar. The Trinidad Chambliss and Gunnar Stockton 3 matchup. Can Trinidad Chambliss go off again against this Georgia defense? We'll see. Lot to be discovered from there.